What is up, friends, YouTube and motorcycle enthusiasts? Accelerate coming at you. The video series that I'm actually really excited to make. I wanted to make this series of rider fitness and my thoughts on it, my input, my research, and some of my experience. So, why did I choose to make this series? Well, a lot of it comes down to my growing passion for the sport of off-road riding. You know, I started riding dirt bikes again whenever I was 38 years old. Well, 37. So I'm 40 now. This is my third season as an adult rider. And, you know, I just absolutely love riding. I love the challenge. And I have ultimately gravitated to off-road enduro, and recently, as I've tested the waters in some of the harder, more technical terrain, as my skills are slowly growing, I've gravitated to hard enduro. As many of you know, I had the I Love Single Track River Raid video that I posted when me and a few of my friends went and rode that event. So I've been eyeballing SEER. That's that's SEER. For you guys that don't know, that's essentially Southeast Extreme Rider Series. And I have interest in competing and riding, and you know, just upping my skill level. So anytime anyone talks about that in a modern assessment of riding competitively, fitness comes up. In fact, I would probably venture to say that off-road riding or motocross or whatever fitness has become a large topic, just because as the skill level of everybody increases, you know, in the past decade or 2 decades, everything just moves forward. You know, the groomed young riders, they start earlier, lessons are learned, machines get more complex, lighter, and better, and everybody, the bar is raised in all things. You know, 1990s football, the players are better now than they were then. It's just technology and so on and so forth. So the same is true with dirt bike riding. And you know, as an older rider, you know, I have considered my fitness throughout my life, and now you know, fitness has been a hobby of mine, which I'll get into shortly. But, you know, riding at these more challenging trails and this more challenging terrain, I've been researching, I've been seeing what works for me a little bit more as I change my fitness goals. So I wanted to convey my thoughts. So I'll move into my background. So my fitness background is, I am not a professional coach. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have any degrees in, you know, exercise science, nutrition, or any of that. I'm a dude that has started working out in his early to mid 20s, and I have continued my fitness journey up until now, my age of 40. So earlier in life, I got into amateur bodybuilding, and you know, just did fitness as a hobby and muscular growth, performance growth. I was never big into the athletic sport of fitness. It was really geared more towards aesthetic fitness and bodybuilding. So that's where a lot of my hobby was. But of course, with all things, you know, a little bit goes a long way. And, you know, I've led an active lifestyle overall. And, that's pretty much my background. But, you know, just right out of the box, you know, this entire series is not going to be me as a, you know, certified sports nutritionist or something explaining to what you can do. This is simply my experience for myself. So hopefully the things that I say may help somebody else out there that may be considering getting more fit for riding. So that's my fitness background. I'm just a Joe, right? So the next thing I would ask is how do I define fitness? Well, fitness is realistically defined, in my opinion, in three ways, and I think there's a lot of personal trainers that would probably agree with this. First and foremost is muscular strength, so the ability to move or lift weight, a weighted amount, either in heft or over a period of time. The increase of those two variables. So muscular strength. The next is cardio fitness. Obviously, we think of the efficiency of the cardiovascular system being important to athleticism and just overall fitness of life, right? We know cardiovascular system is very important for personal performance of any sport, realistically, except maybe, bowling or something. But I digress. So the third and final thing, and a lot of people kind of miss this one. They think, well, if I'm strong and I have great cardio, then I'm fit. Well, that's true, but a lot of people kind of forget mobility and flexibility. And I think that could probably be number one, frankly, because if you try to gain the other two without mobility and flexibility, then a lot of times you'll lead to injury, especially as you get better and you get stronger and faster. But if you're not mobile and flexible, then we run into issues. And the other things is imbalances will occur in the body naturally, just because we, as we grow and progress athletically, imbalances occur naturally, and we fix those along the way. That's a part of the science that goes into that process. So that's how I define fitness in those three areas. I do believe that all three of these areas absolutely 100% apply to riding dirt bikes, riding them for fun and riding them competitively. So the final piece of this whole why video, which is essentially the first video of the videos in the series, is why is it worth getting fit to ride? Many people would ask that question, and I think it really just depends on the individual. I think if the person takes their hobby seriously, which a lot of hobbies, there's a large array of how hard you want to go, so to speak, of if I just want to do it for fun on the weekends and I don't really care really if I get better, I'll get better just naturally from doing it, whether it's shooting pool or tennis or puzzling, right? You name it, whatever that hobby is. Everybody has different degrees and levels of commitment and time and all that. So I believe that there's essentially three reasons of why it's worth getting fit for riding dirt bikes. So first and foremost, we know that dirt biking is a very physical sport. It's very taxing on the body. And the fitter you are, the better you will be at it. Just obviously, our skill is a huge part of it. Our balance, our technique, and clutch control, and all the things that actually come into physically riding a dirt bike well. That comes with all those, your reaction time, your thought process. But your body's ability to perform that function over time repeatedly, being more efficient, will make you better. Period. End of sentence. And that doesn't matter really what it is like if you're physically more able to do it, then we start to not worry about that. It's whenever your body starts to fail that's when other parts of that sport, that efficiency falls off. So you will become a better rider from being physically fit of those three areas that I mentioned. So that's huge. The second piece is, number two, really is longevity. So longevity in the sport, as we physically age, I believe that, in all things in life, if it doesn't matter if it's hiking or riding horses, riding dirt bikes, bicycling, anything physical that requires you to do it, woodworking. I mean, the more physically fit you are and you're taking care of your body in those three areas, the more longevity you're going to have. Balance in all things, of course. We're not talking about an extreme to where you can actually break your body down, but it also does come into that effect as well with longevity of being able to do it longer because your body is conditioned. We know that muscular strength increases bone density, it increases ligament and joint growth, which ultimately will also lead to less injuries because our body is more conditioned for that environment or for that function. So longevity is huge, and I think that's a very important piece of it. You know, me personally, I want to be riding dirt bikes into my 70s. That's my plan, is to, at some capacity, riding off-road in my 70s. So that is number 2. And then finally, physical fitness. Of those 3 areas I mentioned, my definition, it increases all areas of your life. So the added benefit of being able to get physically fit to increase those areas, you know, your quality of life, I think, overall will increase. You know, you'll have more energy, you will hurt less, your nutrition will be hopefully tacked down, and you know, you feel better overall. So all libido, I mean, you name it. People that are physically fit and live a healthier lifestyle typically have a better quality of life. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So, you know, if we're going to do it to make ourselves better riding dirt bikes, something we're passionate about, we get that added benefit. So that's pretty much my why, right? Why I wanted to make this series. So I'm going to just keep making the videos of the areas that I think we need to focus on as I've done my research and as I start looking at this journey myself. So I got some other cool stuff coming up for the channel, but you know, I want to do this series because I think, you know, as for me, hard enduro, and for a lot of people that have been listening to the sport, it's gaining traction. Ironically, it's getting very popular. It's been popular in Europe, and it's really starting to get more popular in the U.S. So I think over the next couple years, we're going to see more hard enduro series pop up. You know, there's going to be more than just AMA Extreme and SEER. We're going to start seeing some more, some clubs and stuff come together. I think it's a really exciting time. Oh, yeah. So with that, I think fitness is something we should all consider. So I hope you guys get out there. I hope you get on 2 wheels and ride a dirt bike. This is Accelerate once again, signing off.